बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा गिरिधरी राधे जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय प्रभुपदा श्रील प्रभुपदा संकीर्तन की है। Let me start with Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunlitam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुन् श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवंस्य श्रीरूपं सगरजातं सगं रघुनाथान्वितं तं साजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णा पादां सगं ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभयश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरा भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे one more time हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे so I'll start reading from Srila Prabhupada's Leelamrita from from the page where it was left yesterday, and then we will take up today's verses. Verses are from Canto 5, Chapter 3, verse number 1 and 2. So the title of the chapter which I'm reading is India Revisited, Part 2. Knowing that Swamiji would soon be returning, the devotees in America began to increase their entreaties, each group asking him to come to their particular city. On November 4, Prabhupada wrote Mukunda, as you say that my absence is being now surely more deeply than ever, so I also feel to start immediately without waiting. And to Mukunda's wife Janki, he wrote, every minute I think of you, and as you asked me to go to San Francisco while returning from India, I'm trying to fulfill my promise. I'm thinking of going directly to San Francisco. At the bottom of the same letter to Mukunda and Janki, Achyutananda added a health report. Swamiji is looking healthy and living and working regularly, but his pulse rate is generally too fast. Last night it was 95, unusually fast even for him, as it generally hovers between 1883 and 86. Prabhupada decided not to wait any longer on the chance that Mukunda might secure him permanent residency. I, I want to return to your country where there is a good air and good water, he told Achyutananda one day. Every day we are receiving letters that the devotees want me there. I thought that in my absence that might deteriorate, and I was reluctant to even come to India. But now I see that it is growing. There is a need for me to go and supervise the expansion. So I want to go back. The only impediment now seems to be a delayed P form, a clearance form from the Bank of India required for an Indian citizen traveling abroad. I'm just ready for starting for America, but as you know, our competent government is very slow in action. The P form was submitted almost a month ago, but still it is undergoing red tapeism. The visa was granted to me within half an hour. The passage money was deposited within 2 days, but unfortunately, the Reserve Bank of India is delaying the matter unnecessarily. I expect the P form at any moment, and as soon as I get it, I shall start for your country. Just to make certain that Swamiji would come first to San Francisco, Mukunda sent a telegram to Calcutta. Swamiji, Brahmanand and I agree. You start immediately. Advise exact arrival date, Mukunda. Prabhupada had planned his route through Tokyo, intending to stop for a day to probe if there are any possibilities of starting a center. In Tokyo, he would let Mukunda know by telephone his arrival time in San Francisco. But 3 weeks passed while Prabhupada continued to wait for his P form. Meanwhile, he received good news from New York. The Macmillan Company's interest in Bhagavad Gita was real. The contract was being drawn. Pleased with Brahmanand, he wrote to him on November 11, explaining his vision for distributing Krishna conscious literature. If publications are there, we can work from one center only, like New York or San Francisco, for propagating our cult all over the world. Let us stick to the publication of BTG more and more nicely and publish some Vedic literatures like Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, etc. I'll pause here. I don't know how many of you have experienced or heard or dealt with the telegrams, which are now something extinct. So in my time, I have dealt a lot. Srila Prabhupada Leela Amrita ki jai. So we'll take up today's verses now. Both the verses are in prose form, not in poetry. First, I will read, and I think first verse is on the board. So, and then in case anyone wants to repeat, they can do it. Before that, let me glorify Srimad Bhagavatam. Yam pravajantam anupetam apet kritam द्वैपायनो विरह कातर आजुहावा पुत्रेति तन्मयतया सर्वो विनेदुस् हम सर्वभूतिर्जं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् शृण्वतां स्वाकथा कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तना हृदयं स्थोय भद्राणि विद्नोति सुहृत्सताम् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवा भगवते उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी यत्कीर्तनं यत् श्रवणं यदीक्षणं यद्वन्दनं यत्स्मरणं यदर्हणं लोकस्य सद्यो विध्नोति कल्मषं तस्मै सुभद्रशवसे नमो नमः निम्नगानां यथा गंगा देवानामच्युतो यथा वैष्णवानां यथा शंभु पुराणानाम इदं तथा सर्वशास्त्राभि पीयूषा सर्ववेदैक सत्फला सर्व सिद्धांत प्रत्याद्या सर्वलौकिक दृक्पदा सर्वभागवत प्राण श्रीमद् भागवत प्रभु कलिध्वांतोदितादित्य श्री कृष्ण परवर्तति परमानंद पाठाय प्रेम वशाय अक्षराय ते सर्वदा सर्वसेव्याय श्री कृष्णाय नमस्तुते मद एक बंधु मद संगिन मद गुरो मन महाधन मन निस्तारक मद भाग्य मद आनंद नमस्तुते असाधु साधु तादादि अति नीचोच्चाकर हानामुंचा कदाचिन माम प्रेम हित कंठो सुरा तस्य वै श्रीमाणायाम कृष्णे परम पुरुषे भक्ति उत्पद्यते पुंसा शोकमोह भयापहा. So as I said earlier, today's two verses are from chapter 3 of Canto 5, and since both these verses are in prose form, not in poetry, I will straight away read them. But before that, let's pray to Shri Shri Radha Giridhar. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय Name of the chapter is Rishabh Dev's appearance in the womb of Meru Devi, the wife of King Nabi. Text 1. Shri Shuku Vacha Nabhir Apatya Kamo Prajya Meru Devaya Bhagvantam Yagna Purusham Avitatma Ayajat. Shri Shuku Vacha Nabhir Apatya Kamo Prajya Meru Devaya Bhagvantam Yagna Purusham Avitat Ajayat. Ayajat, not Ajayat. Ayajat. Shri Shuku Vacha Nabhir Apatya Kamo Prajya Meru Devaya Bhagvantam Yagna Purusham Avitatma Ayajat. In case anyone wishes to decide.
श्रीशुकवाच
Shukuvacha
मामेरपत्या कामो
Nabhir Apatya Kamo
प्रजया मेरुदेवया
Prajya Meru Devaya
भगवन्तं यज्ञा
Bhagvantam Yagna
पुरुषाव आवाहिता मा यजता
Purusham Avitatma Ayajat. Shri Shukuvacha Nabhir Apatya Kamo Prajya Meru Devaya Bhagvantam Yagna Purusham Avitatma Ayajat.
श्रीशुकवाच
Nabhirapatya
नावेरपत्या
Kamo Prajya
प्रजया
Meru Devaya
मेरुदेवया भगवन्तं
Yagna Purusham Avitatma Ayajat. What translation? Translation is Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Shuku Vacha, Shri Sukdev Goswami said, Nabhi, the son of Maharaj Agnidhar, Apatya Kama, desiring to have sons, Aprajaya, who had not given birth to any children, Merudevya, with Merudevi, Bhagvantam, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Yagna Purusham, Lord Vishnu, the master and enjoyer of all performances of sacrifice, Avit Atma, with great attention, Ayajat, offered prayers and worshipped. Translation. Shukdev Goswami continued to speak. Maharaja Nabi, Maharaja Nabi, the son of Agnidhar, wished to have sons, and therefore he attentively began to offer prayers and worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, the master and enjoyer of all sacrifices. Maharaja Nabhi's wife, Meru Devi, who had not given birth to any children at that time, also worshipped Lord Vishnu along with her husband. Now, there is no purport on this verse, so I'll go straight to verse number 2 and I will read by myself. तत्सा हा वाव श्रद्धया विशुद्ध भावेन यजता प्रवर्गेषु प्रचलत्सु द्रव्य देश काल मंत्रद्विग दक्षिणा विधान योगोपपत्तया दुर्धिगमो हि भगवान भागवत वात्सल्यतया सुप्रतीक आत्मानम अपराजितम निज जनाभिप्रेतार्थ विदित्सया गृहीत हृदय अंगम मनोनयनानंद नाभिरामम avichakar. What translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Tasya, when he, Nabhi, Bhav, certainly, Shraddhaya, with great faith and devotion, Vishuddha Bhaven, with a pure, uncontaminated mind, Yajata, was worshipped, Pravargeshu, while the fruitive activities called Pravargya, Pracharitasu, were being performed. Dravya, the ingredients, Desh, place, kal, time, mantra, hymns, ritvik, priest conducting the ceremony, dakshina, given gifts to the priest, vidhan, regulatory principles, yog, and the means, apatya, by the performance, Durdhigama, not obtainable, api, although Bhagwan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavat Vatsalayataya, because of his being very affectionate to his devotees, Supratika, possessing a very beautiful form, Atmanam, himself, Aparajitam, not to be conquered by anyone, Nijjan, of his devotees, Abhi, Pret, Earth, the desire, Viditsaya, to fulfill Garhit, Hridaya, his heart being attracted, Hridyangamam, captivating, Mana, Nayan, Anandan, pleasing to the mind and eyes, Avaya, by the limbs, Abhiramam, beautiful, Avishchakar, manifested. Translation. In the performance of a sacrifice, there are 7 transcendental means to obtain the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. 1. By sacrificing valuable things or eatables. 2. By acting in terms of place. 3. By acting in terms of time. 4. By offering hymns. 5. By going through the priest. 6. By offering gifts to the priest. And 7. By observing regulatory principles. However, one cannot always obtain the Supreme Lord through this paraphernalia. Nevertheless, the Lord is affectionate to his devotees. Therefore, when Maharaja Nabi, who was a devotee, worshipped and offered prayers to the Lord with great faith and devotion and with a pure, uncontaminated mind, superficially performing some yagna in the line of pravargya, the kind Supreme Personality of Godhead, due to his affection for his devotees, appeared before King Nabi in his unconquerable and captivating form with 4 hands. In this way, to fulfill the desire of his devotees, the Supreme Personality of Godhead manifested himself in his beautiful body before his devotees. This body pleases the mind and eyes of the devotees. Purport. In Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly stated, Bhaktya mamna abhijanati yavan chasmi tatvata tato mam tatvato gyata vishte tadanantaram. One cannot understand the Supreme Personality as he is only by devotional service. And when one is in full consciousness of the Supreme Lord by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. Bhagavad Gita 18:55. One can understand and see the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the process of devotional service and not in any other way. Although Maharaja Nabi performed prescribed duties and sacrifices, it should still be considered that the Lord appeared before him not due to his sacrifices, but because of his devotional service. It was for this reason that the Lord agreed to appear before him in his beautiful bodily features. As stated in Brahma Samhita 5.30, the Supreme Lord in his original nature is very beautiful. Venum kavanantam arvindalaya taksham barhavatam samasitam buddha sundarangam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, although blackish, is very, very beautiful. Oh, Mukapuroti Vachalam Pangulangayate Girim Yat Kripatam Aham Shri Guru Deen Taranam. So the last part of the last sentence of the purport says that Supreme Personality of Godhead, although blackish, is very, very beautiful. Srila Prabhupada has used this word very twice. As you know, it is to emphasize the beauty of the Lord. So today we will also look at the beautiful aspect of the Lord. But before that, I'll give a summary of the background of these 2 verses which we have recited today. In the previous chapter, we heard Maharaj Priyavrat, whose descendants we are talking about these days, When he was fed up with the materialistic way of life, he went back again to his spiritual life and handed over his kingdom to his son Agnidhar. Agnidhar wanted to have nice children, so he worshipped Lord Brahmaji. Pleased with the worship of Lord Brahma, pleased with the worship of King Agnidhar, Brahmaji sent one of his own girls, one of the girls from his own abode, whose name was Viprachiti. Oh, sorry, Purvachiti, not Viprachiti, Purvachiti. So he sent Purvachiti to place where Maharaja Agnidhar was performing worship. And by her movements and appearance, Purvachiti drew the attention of King Agnidhar. And Srila Shukdev Goswami also adds that Maharaja Agnidhar was skillful. He knew the art of flattering a woman. So he also uh, spoke words which were pleasing to Puruchiti, and then both of them agreed to live together, and they got married and they enjoyed materialistic life for thousands of years. And Purchiti produced 9 sons, eldest being King Nabi, about whom we just discussed in the verses. So when King Nabi married the eldest daughter of Meru Devi, so they also desired to have very brilliant sons, and they worshipped Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Supreme Lord, pleased with their worship and austerities, he appeared before them in his 4-hand beautiful forms. And there is a description of his form. It's very pleasing. So as I said earlier, we will also look at this aspect of beautiful aspect of Supreme Lord. But only difference is that we will be looking at the beautiful aspect of Shri Radha Giridharilal, our presiding deity of our temple. Not only our temple, but all our ISKCON temples. The presiding deities are Krishna himself. And to do that, I will begin with the verse from chapter 21 of 10th canto. And verse is commonly heard. I'm sure most of you have heard it. This verse is spoken by Srila Sukdev Goswami. Barha pidam vapvar, barha pidam natvar vapu karneyo karnikaram, bibradavasa kanak kapisham, vajayantim chamalam, tandhan venur adar sudaya pureyan, gopavrindair, vindaranyam sapadaramanam pravishad gita kitihi. In this verse, Srila Sukdev Goswami is describing the beauty of Krishna. When Krishna is going to forest for cow herding, gocharan, and as soon as it is autumn time, and forest is very much beautified by the growth of flowers and vegetation. And as soon as Krishna enters into the forest, he starts playing flute, his beautiful flute, and hearing the sound of flute, gopis of the Vrindavan, they come out of their house and they want to talk about Krishna. They want to glorify Krishna. But as soon as they start talking to each other, they were overwhelmed by the previous pastimes of Krishna and they could not speak. They came under the influence of Cupid. And because of that, they could not, they just spoke mentally to each other, not speaking verbally. On behalf of the gopis, Shukdev Swami is describing their mind in this verse I have just spoken. Barha pidam natvar vapu karanayo karnikaram vibradvasa kanak kapisham vajajantim chamalam andhan venur adar sudaya pureyan go vrindair. And Vrindaranyam sapadaramnam pravishad geet kirtai. First word is barha apidam. Barha. Barha means what? Peacock feather. Apidam. He has decorated his head with peacock feather. Srila Prabhupada has fixed two verses which we every day sing at the time of opening curtain, 7 o'clock. Today also we spoke. Venum Kavanantam Arvindalaya Taksham. And this verse is also quoted by Srila Prabhupada in the purport. In this verse also, the word Baraha is come. Venum Kavanantam Arvindalaya Taksham Barahavatam Sam Asitam Buddha Sundarangam Andarapakoti Kamaniya Visheshovam Govindama Adipusham Tamaham Bhajami. Baraha. In this case, Lord Brahma is describing the beauty of Krishna. What Krishna is doing? Venum Kavanantam. Venu means flute. Kavanantam means playing. He is playing flute. Venum Kavanantam. Arvindalaya Taksham. His eyes are very beautiful, like blooming lotuses. Arvind. Arvind means lotus. Arvindalaya Taksham. Barhavatam Sam. He is wearing a peacock feather. Barhavatam Asitam Buddha Sundarangam. Asit means black. We heard in the purport. Though his beauty is black, but it's very, very beautiful. Not exactly very black, but just like the ripened cloud. Asitam, Abuddha. Abuddha means cloud. Sundarangam, his beautiful limbs. Asitam and then Kandarapa Koti Kamaniya Visheshobham Govinda Mahadipushan Tamam Bhajami. And then millions and millions of the cupids are desiring for him. On this verse, once there was some conversation between a kind of impersonalist and Srila Prabhupada. And that person said, in his realization of the Supreme Lord, he said, God is wonderful. And we can imagine him in any form. Srila Prabhupada countered, no, God has definite form. You cannot concoct it according to your whims. And the person said, that does you know, do you know the form of the Lord? Srila Prabhupada quickly quoted this verse, Venum Kavanantam Arvindalaya Takshan. Coming back to the verse we have taken up for discussion today, Barhavatamsam. It's the same, Barha Avatamsam. Now, this, when we heard Brahmaji's verse, as well as this verse, which is spoken by Srila Shukdev Goswami, we find consistency by the speakers or by the personalities who have seen Krishna. One is not contradicting the other. If Brahmaji is saying he's wearing peacock feather, so is being said by gopis, and so is being said by Srila Sukadeva Goswami, confirming it. So, in a way, that's a confirmation of the fact that Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, has a definite personality. He's not some imagined figure. Barhavatam sam asidam buddha sundaranga. And when he was in Mathura and Dwarka, he used to wear crowns and helmets with valuable gems and diamonds, etc. But since he has to perform Leela or pastime according to the circumstances appropriately, so in this case, when he is entering into the forest, he is just not wearing all those valuable things. He is wearing things like flowers and leaves and peacock feather. Even though when he was being sent by Mother Yashoda to forest for cow herding, Mother Yashoda was decorating him with valuable ornaments. But on reaching uh, forest, he will just take out every ornament and put it in a small uh, uh, bag and just hang it in the tree. And then he will decorate himself, or his group friends will decorate him with natural things like peacock feather and flowers and leaves and fruits, etc. So this is what, one may ask a question that since he was prince of Braja and his father uh, was king of Braja, so and they had thousands and thousands of servants. Why Nand Maharaj and Yashoda used to send Krishna for cow herding? After all, in a kingly setup, this kind of job is done by servants. Why he was going to forest? He could have just enjoyed being just staying back. The answer to that is that when Lord manifested himself in this material world, he not only wanted to give pleasure to his parents, Nand Maharaj and Yashoda Maya, but he wanted to give the benefit of his appearance to every living being, to every animal, every tree, as we hear in Bhagavatam when Lord and Balramji went to forest, how they were reacting to the overtures of the entities who were living there, living beings who were there. So that's the reason that why Krishna, in fact, Krishna, Mother Yashoda didn't want to send Krishna for cow herding when he was very young. But Krishna insisted, no, he had to go. He was he was successful in convincing Mother Yashoda that he has to go. And finally, Mother relented and Krishna went for cow herding. Now, another thing we heard in this verse, Varaha Pinam Natvar Vapu. Natvar Vapu. Natvar means is is king of the dancers. Or another meaning is that he makes everyone dance. Or we can say that he is the best dancer. So, in fact, on this, Srila Jeev Goswami says that Natvar Vapu indicates non-difference of the person from the object mentioned, and he quotes verse from third canto. Yan martya lilopikam savyoga maya balam darshita grahitam vismapnam swasya sobagadre param padam bhushanangam. Sri Jiva Goswami is conveying or rather comparing this verse for the reason that when Krishna wears an ornament, it is not that Krishna's beauty is enhanced. The beauty of the ornament is enhanced by being on the body of Krishna. So in this case, Srila Jiva Goswami says that Krishna and Krishna's body as a dancer is no difference. It's the same. And he makes every living being dance. And word vapu is common. We have all heard in the context of Srila Prabhupada saying vapu and vani. Vapu means body. So Krishna's body is just like a dancer's body. His every step in walking is just like a dance. Even in difficult situations, he would dance. Like when he was trying to subdue Kalia. Even at that time, he was dancing. Whereas the Brajvasis, they were scared of Krishna. He might be hurt or he might get stung. But Krishna was dancing. And another I heard from my Guru Maharaj, when he was holding on his little finger Giriraj, even at that time, sometime while holding, sometime when he was wanting to change the situation, he'll start dancing a little bit. And then Brajvasi says, don't dance at this situation. It might fall. So Krishna not only dances in front of his friends, Gopas, but he also starts dancing in a very complicated situation because he's a very good dancer. And not many, not any other form of Lord has shown any dance like Lord Krishna has shown. For instance, we have not heard Lord Ramchandra dancing. We have not heard Nrsimhadev dancing. No question. No question of dancing by Lord Kashyap. He just went into sleep when Mandaranchal was rubbed on his back. And Lord Kapil Dev is just in meditation, giving knowledge. Why Krishna is so popular? Because he has very attractive pastimes which captivate the devotees. The only time we hear another personality dancing is Lord Shiva. And when he dances, everybody is afraid because his dance is for the annihilation of the universe. When he danced in the arena of sacrifice of Daksha, everybody was scared. And out of his dance, he created a very powerful personality, Veerbhadra, by hitting his matted hairs. So Krishna's dance cannot be compared with any other dancer. So the next word in the verse is Karanayo Karnikaram. Krishna is wearing a blue lotus on his ears. Some commentator says that the color of the lotus is yellow, but whatever. And some commentator says that he's wearing two flowers on each ear. But some say no, he's only wearing one. And in the in the frolic of his youth, he's just shifting from one ear to another ear. Sometimes here, sometimes there. So that's the way it is. And then Kanaka Kapisham. Vibrad Vasa. Vasa means dress. His Vibrad means he's wearing. What is wearing? Two cloths only, like two flowers. And the two cloths he's wearing is Uttariya and Dhoti. Vibrad Vasa Kanaka Kapisham. Kanak means gold. Kapisham is a kind of effulgence. He's wearing Kanaka Kapisham, dhotis, which has color of gold, yellow, in other words. And here also I found consistency of appearance. And that consistency I found in the words which is spoken by Bhishmadev. Vibhuvan kamanam tamala varnam ravikar gaura varambaram dadane vapuralakunda vitananabjam vijasakiratilastu mena vadya. Vishnudev also saying is wearing a cloth whose color matches with the gaur varna, with the sun rays. Morning sun rays are not red, but they are a little bit yellowish. So Vishnudev is also saying the same thing. Again, I want to highlight this point that whosoever has the good fortune of seeing Krishna as per the pages of Bhagavatam, There is a lot of consistency. It's not that someone is saying he's wearing different color, or he's not wearing that thing or that or this or that thing. So, and then he said, Kanaka Kapisham, Vaijayantim Chamalam. He's wearing Vaijayanti Mala. As probably you know, the Vaijayanti Mala consists of 5 colors. A garland which is made of 5 flowers of 5 colors is called Vaijayanti Mala. And the colors are white, red, blue, green, and yellow. So, and I also want to say something about the garland I'm wearing, fortunately. I do service on Friday, evening service. And I'm the one who removes this garland from Krishna's neck. And then I start eyeing when I have to speak that this garland is going to come back to me after Srila Prabhupada's. So I get double mercy. One, this garland is first worn by Krishna and then Srila Prabhupada, and I get fortunately. In Sakand Puran, it is mentioned that, which was confirmed by Srila, by His Holiness Indra Maharaj, I heard it, that anyone who gets the opportunity to wear a garland which has come from the neck of Krishna, he doesn't have to see his birth again. This is a Skanpuran statement. As far as I'm concerned, it may not happen because of the stock of sins I have, but it is the statement from Sakand Puran. So if anyone who gets opportunity to wear it, he must accept it gratefully. Now, what was our Vajanti Mala? Randhan. Next word was Randhan Venur. Randhan Venur Adhar Sudhya Puriyan Gopurindai. Randhan. Randhan means in the flute there are holes, as you all know. And in Sanskrit and as well as in Hindi, the holes are called chidra. Chidra also means defects. So when Krishna found that his flute is having defects, chidra, and he also found that inside it is all dry. So to give mercy to flute, he started playing it by playing. Some saliva also goes into the flute, and then because of that, a very nice sound starts coming in, which is pleasing and attractive to all his devotees. And gopis also always desire to have the nectar of Krishna's lips, as we hear in Gopi Geet. In Gopi Geet, there are 2 verses I found that the gopis are desiring the lip service of Krishna, if I may say so, lip service, but actually it is not. It is nectar of lip of Krishna. And the verses are Surat Varadhanam Shoknashanam Swarit Venuna Sushtu Chumbitam Itaragve Swaranam Ninam Vitaravirnas Tedharamritam. And then another Tedharamritam, Adhara Amritam. Adhar means lips, Amritam means nectar. And then another verse, Gopi's desire, the nectar of Krishna's lips. Madhuraya gira vaduvapyaya buddha mano gaya pushkareshana vidhi kiririma vira muyati adhara sidhuna pyayasvana. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. What gopis are saying in the second verse? Madhuraya Gira. Your speech is very sweet. Madhuraya Gira. Valgu Vakaya. And the words you speak, they are very charming. Valgu means charming. Valgu Vakaya. Buddha Manogya. The intelligent people say that your words and speech attract mind. Push correction. Your eyes are just like, oh lotus-eyed. It is addressed to Krishna. Oh lotus-eyed. Vidhi Kiririma Veer Muhyati. Veer means hero. Oh hero, we are your maid servants. Vidhi Kiririma Veer Muhyatir. And we are bewildered. Please satisfy us with the nectar of your lips. So, as I said, gopis are always desiring the nectar of Krishna's lips. And then the word in the verse we have taken, Barahapidam, the word comes Gop Vrindai. Yeah, the uh, the Gopas there, they are also glorifying the Lord's pastimes. Then Vindaranyam, then they are entering into forest, Vindaranyam. Shukdev Swami could have used the word Vrindavanam. Vanam means also forest, and Ranyam means also forest. But there is a bit of significance of this word, Ranyam. It's not Ranyam, it's Aranyam. Aranyam means also forest. Word Ranyam means place where there are battles, battles are taking place, like a place where there are conflicts. But by adding a in front of Ranyam, so it becomes a place where there's no conflict. In the forest, generally there are animals who are mutually always inimical towards each other. But when in Vrindavan, the tiger is not killing goat or tiger is not killing deers. There is no such possibility. Therefore, Shukdev Goswami is using word aranyam, Vrindaranyam, Swapadaramanam. And particularly the Vrinda Devi. It's also Vrindaranyam is a place or is a forest which is being supervised by Vrinda Devi, Tulsi Maharani. And since Krishna has to perform pastimes, they have to spend 12 hours in the forest. They have to play, they have to eat, they have to do a lot of activities. So Vrinda Devi is making sure that there is no difficulty for the Lord. She is arranging on the paths layers and layers of petals so that there is no thorn or pebble which can hurt Krishna. So to facilitate the pastimes Krishna wants to perform, Vrinda Devi decorates the forest. And the throne being throne could hurt Krishna. That kind of consideration is also with the gopis. Gopis also say, Chal siyat bhajan chareyan pashun nalin sundaram nath te padam chil tinankurai siddhati tina kalilitamana kant gachati. Gopi says, oh Lord, we are also very much concerned that when you go to forest, the thorns and the sharp pebbles, they might hurt you. She'll, she'll tin kurang, till she'll tin kurangare. Siti means might hurt. We want you to come back. So, gopis are also very much concerned about Krishna's welfare out of love for him. And then it says that Swapad Ramanam Pravishad. By the footprint of Krishna, the forest is further decorated. Ramanam, it becomes very pleasing. And Kunti Maharani also, in her prayers to Krishna, when Krishna was about to leave for Dwarka after Mahabharat, Kunti Maharani also says, Neshe Shobhate Tatra Yatheti Nam Gadadhara Tat Padair Ankita Bhati Swalakshan Vilakshitai. As long as you are here, this whole place is looking good. We have no fear. But I fear once you go, this situation will not exist. I will now try to conclude it by taking up two verses from Chaitanya Charitamrita. And they describe the beauty of Krishna. The beauty is compared with the moons. We all have experienced that on a full moon day, particularly in summer, if you look at moon in the night, it is so pleasing. You just don't want to see anywhere else. Even while driving, it sometimes it becomes a risk to see moon and not being able to take away your attention. It's so beautiful. But in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Kaviraj has compared Krishna with 24 and a half moons, and which is the total number of syllables in Kam Gayatri. Those who are second initiated, they know what is Kam Gayatri. And I sometimes imagine that since seeing one moon is so pleasing to the mind and eyes, if we have opportunity of seeing a cluster of 24 and a half moons, wow, just anybody's imagination. So that is Krishna's beauty. So the verse says, Kam Gayatri Mantra Roop Haya Krishna Savaroop Sarchabis Akshar Tar Haya She Akshar Chandra Haya Krishna Keri Udaya Tri Jagat Kaila Kamaya. I have already explained that the beauty of Krishna is compared with the 24 and a half moons, and 24 and half syllables are also found in Kam Gayatri. The second verse says, Sakhi hai Krishna Mukh Dvij Raj Raj Krishna Vapu Simhasane Vasi Raja Shasane Kare Sange Chandrer Samaj. Krishna face is also king of the moons, and sitting on the Sinhasan, on the seat, he is supervising all other scenes, all other moons. So with that, I will conclude. But before conclusion, sorry, one more thing. So how do we, what do we do after hearing all this? So we pray to Krishna in the way Kunti Maharani has prayed. Kunti Maharani says, Tvai me anya vishya matir madhu prateskrit ratim udvadadada gange vogan udhanvati. She is saying that, oh my Lord, may my attention be always be on you, no other subject. Tvai me anya vishya, no other vishya, no other subject. And she is comparing her situation, or she is desiring to have the situation like Mother Ganges. When Mother Ganges is flowing, she is straight away flowing. I've seen this flow last June when I was in India. It was so beautiful. And I remembered this verse also at that time. She is saying that my attention should always be like Mother Ganges, who eventually merges into sea. So there is no interruption for her. So similarly, we all pray. I am speaking on behalf of all of you, that our attention should always be on Lord Krishna's lotus feet, just like uninterrupted flow of river Ganges. With these words, I'll pause here. And if someone wants to add something or say something, please feel free. Otherwise, we'll close. Looks like there's no philosophical point today, so we will close it. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for being here.
His Grace Anadi Mohan Prabhuji ki.
श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।